Hello, geometry friends. Let's do some constructions, but on a screen, but you guys with a compass. Let's go. So today we're going to talk about compositions of transformations, which is just a really fancy way of saying multiple transformations in a sequence. I am on page 14 in your packet, most likely. So take your packet out, find the compositions notes, and let's go. First thing we're going to do is talk about looking at a picture and trying to figure out what happened in it. So it says in the picture above, describe the type of rigid motion that takes place to go from whatever to whatever. First things first, I want to make sure I emphasize this phrase rigid motion. A rigid motion is one that preserves both distance and angle measure. Rotations, reflections, and translations are all rigid motions because the size of our objects did not change. Now, beyond that though, what can we do next with these? Well, how did I go from 1 to 2? Well, 1 and 2 are kind of separated by this dot here at A, and I really think I turned this around A. So to go from 1 to 2, wow, that's way too big. To go from 1 to 2, we did a rotation about point A. And if I'm going to talk about a rotation, I need to have a center, which I do, and I need an angle of rotation. So let's draw that angle of rotation and to try to be specific. So I'm going to use this point to the center to the new point. Oh, what kind of angle is that? Well, that's a straight line. So that's a 180-degree angle. So a rotation about point A of 180 degrees, and honestly, clockwise or counterclockwise doesn't matter because if you go 180, doesn't matter which way you turned. So this is a rotation about point A of 180 degrees. Now, how to get from 2 over here to 3? Well, I flipped over CB. Flipping isn't really a thing. Reflecting, however, is. So to get from 2 to 3, we did a reflection across line CB. And then to get from 3 to 4, we slid, and that's a translation. And we did a translation the same length and direction as vector DE. So to get from 3 to 4, we did a translation following vector DE. Or you could say up and to the right in the same direction of DE. All right. So that is your other option. Okay. Now you should be able to do that. You should be able to look at this picture and say, well, I turned, then I flipped, then I slid. And that's what we really need you to be able to do. All right, coming down here, when a series of rigid motion takes place with one rigid motion building off another, this is called a composition. So right here, you're going to write composition. All right. Now, there are different kinds of notations here. Composition notation is arguably stupid because you have to read from right to left, but you just do, all right? So composition notation often has this little bubble in the middle. And so this says a reflection of M following a translation, of vector U. Okay, now I said a reflection of M following a translation of U. Another way to read that is you translate U first, and then you follow that with a reflection over M. Long story short, when you see this little bubble, I immediately want you to pick up your pen or pencil and draw an arrow pointing left to remind you that you have to read and perform this composition going right to left, okay? So you want to move from right to left. I know it's annoying, but you can handle it. I believe in you. What's next? It says pentagon ABCD is pictured at the right, where L and M are lines of symmetry. Evaluate the following compositions. Okay, so this says reflect over L following a reflection over M and do that to point E. So I am going to go right to left. So I am going to start at E, which is right here. And I'm going to first flip over M. Well, there's M. So if I think of folding that like as a piece of paper over M, bloop, E becomes A. Then I need to take A and reflect it over L. So fold it and I get to point C. All right, let's do another one, but erase my markings here. Next, we want to take BA, flip over L, and then flip over M. I highly encourage you to do B and then do A. Don't try to do them together at the same time. Trust me, it's easier one at a time. So let's start with B. I'm going to take B and flip over L. So I fold B along L. Oh, it doesn't go anywhere. Then after that, I'm going to fold along M. So I'm going to tilt my head and think about if I folded along line M, B would fold over and become D. Now I got to do the same thing with A. So A started here. A, I have to flip over L because it says to do that first. That becomes C. Then I reflect C over M and it doesn't go anywhere because it's on M. So BA becomes DC. Okay. And now one more. It says take point B, okay, and rotate it 72 degrees about X. Okay, well, where'd they get that 72? Well, this is a pentagon, and if that's a pentagon, 360 degrees, pentagon has 5 sides. Oh, 72 is the number of degrees it needs to go from one vertex to the other. Okay, so I need to take B and go 72 degrees counterclockwise because it's positive. So I need to go one turn counterclockwise from B. Well, okay, fine. B becomes A. Then I need to take A and I have to flip it over M and it becomes E. All right. So from the front page, you need to understand that if you see this little bubble, it means you have to go right to left. Now we're going to do this stuff with a compass. So given the triangle, construct the composition, reflection over M following a translation of vector U. Okay, I see the bubble, so I need to translate first. Okay, so I got to translate first and then reflect. We can do this. So grab your compass, and if I'm going to translate, why is this not grabbing things? Oh, because I didn't pick the arrow. I want to open my compass so it's as long as U. Pardon me. Open my compass to as long as U. And then I'm going to draw an arc from A and B and C. So there's my arc from B. There's my arc from C. And there's my arc from A. All right, so they're all going to go this way. And then last but not least, remember, translation is a slide. So here's the slide part. I'm going to put the pokey part on U. I am going to open up my compass so that it touches A. All right, so I'm opening up from the end of U to the end of A. And then I'm sliding down U with the pokey part. And I draw an arc until this hits the thing I already have. There's A prime. Okay, same thing, but I'm going to open up from U to B. All right, so now I'm open from U to B. Slide down U. Draw, whoa. Draw an arc. There we go. And then open from the pokey part, U to C. A little bit more. There we go. Slide down U, bing, and then draw this arc. All right. So now I have, let's see, this thing right here was B prime. This thing right here was A prime, and that thing right there is C prime. So here's triangle number 2. Then I'm supposed to reflect that triangle over the line M. Okay, so for reflections, I want to open my compass so that it hits this bottom line twice. That looks like it'll work. So I'm going to hit the bottom line twice, and then from each intersection, I draw below the line until they crisscross. Now I have C prime. Going to do the same thing from A. Hit the line twice. From each intersection, draw down. Nope. It refuses to draw. Why, oh why? There we go. So draw from there and from there. Whoop. Now I have A prime. And then last but not least, I got to do it with B. Open, big arc. And from each intersection, draw down. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me say this out loud. I don't know why I'm still talking. I can't seem to stop. There we go. And now we have B prime. Boom, boom, boom. So I started here, I slid to the right, and then I flipped over. And that's a composition using your compass. Huzzah! Okay. Down here, I got a hexagon, and I'm supposed to do all this stuff to that hexagon. If you feel like you understand what's going on right now, I would like you to pause the video and try to do this on your own and then come back. So pause the video now if you want to try this on your own. If you're still feeling like, ugh, I cannot do this on my own, then just keep listening, and I'm going to go through the answers rather quickly. Once you're done, those of you that paused, press play, and I will quickly go through the responses. Okay, starting at A. So I'm supposed to see the bubble, go right to left, start at D, flip D over BE. So I think of BE as my fold line. That becomes F. Then take F and rotate 60 degrees. Well, where'd they get 60? 360 divided by 6 is 60. So that means every corner is 60 degrees away. So I want to go 60 degrees counterclockwise from F. That would bring me to E. All right, next one, purple. Start at E again. Okay. And then flip over CF. Well, CF is this middle line. So if I flip, I go to A. And then flip over BE. So if I fold over BE, I end up at C. All right, these are getting a little bubbly. So let's erase and go with blue. Start at D. Reflect 120. So every 60 is a corner. So 120 is two corners, counterclockwise. And did Mrs. Vibber make a boo-boo before? Hold on a second. D over BE is F. And then F counterclockwise. No, I did that one right. Okay. So anyways, sorry. I just wanted to check my first answer. So if I start at D and I go counterclockwise 120 degrees, that's two vertices that away. So I end up at B. And then if I flip B over CF, oh, I end back up at D. That's cool. Okay, and then I got 3 in a row next time. So going here, I'm going to start at F. I'm going to turn 300 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so that's 5 60s counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I end back up at A. Then I flip over CF. Whoop. I end up at E. Then I flip over BE, but I'm already on BE, so I stay there. Turn the page. And last but not least, we have a composition of a rotation, because that's a capital R, followed by a reflection. Okay, a rotation followed by a reflection. So now we're going to do this with our compass. Again, if you think you know what you're doing, feel free to try this on your own and then come back and make sure yours looks like mine. But I look at this, I see the bubble, I know I want to work right to left, so I have to rotate first 120 degrees. So rotations are the ones where you put your pokey part on your center, you open up to one of the points. So move F to C, Mine's never going to be perfect, but that's as good as it gets. Now I need to go negative 120. So negative 120 means clockwise 2 arcs. So I'm going to start at C and draw 2 arcs in a counterclockwise fashion. 1 arc, 2 arcs. Bing. So that is now C prime. And I'm going to do B and A next. You know, if my compass would ever work. So open up to B, draw a circle, and then put 2 arcs on the circle. There's B prime. And then same thing with A. And 2 arcs clockwise because it's a negative. Clockwise. There's 1. And I got to scroll back up. There's 2. Oh, that took forever. So here's my triangle, rotated 120 degrees. All right, so it spun up there. And now I'm supposed to flip that over L. So when I do a reflection, that's the one where you want to hit twice and then arc down. So again, if you know what you're doing, feel free to scrub forward in this video because you've already done it. Otherwise, I'm just going to complete it. Nope, I didn't even go far enough. Look at that. I'm going to complete this construction, and I'm sorry that you have to watch me do it. But I just don't feel like pausing the video. I heard a really terrible joke yesterday. It was, what do you call a very tired, one-eyed monster? Cyclops. I know. It's terrible. And my son told me a joke too, and now I can't remember it. Maybe I'll remember it before the end of the video. Who knows? I can't remember anything lately. That's going to be B double prime down there. Now, I want to think, did I forget to put my double primes? I did. If you go back to exercise 2, I'm just realizing that I forgot to make these A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime because it's the second image. So they really should have a double prime. I just forgot last time. My apologies. So there's B double prime. Oh, I didn't hit twice. I really hate this compass, you guys. Like, it works, and it's better than nothing, and it's better than me trying to make a video of myself doing this on paper. But dear God, it would be so much faster. This C double prime. And then, oh my God, I'm almost done. A double prime, let's go. It's going to hit twice, a little bit more. Hit twice, yay! This is the transformation that doesn't end. It goes on and on, my friend. There we go. Oh my goodness, I'm done. I'm so tired. I'm really not that tired, but it's just annoying. So I turned it and then I flipped it. Yay. Go me, go us. We did it. All right. Last part then. Down at the bottom, we don't have to construct anything. Hallelujah. The figure shows a sequence of rigid motion that maps a pre-image onto an image. Identify 2 rigid motions in proper sequence. All right, so what do we do first? Well, first it looks like we turned, okay? And honestly, I don't even like the way I drew that arrow because I know I turned, but I want to turn really AC went from here to here. So that's my angle of rotation right there. So identify them in the proper sequence. So first, we did a rotation about point A of, let's see, this looks like a little bit less than 90. So let's call this 80 degrees. And if I keep going, that's clockwise. So you could also say negative 80, because clockwise is negative. And then the second thing we did is we took this new one and slid it that away, and we slid it along the vector C prime, B prime. So then we translated using C prime, B prime as our vector for the translation. All right, is the angle of rotation positive or negative? It is negative because we went clockwise. What vector defines a translation? I did that, C prime, B prime. And specifically describe them that maps ABC onto A double prime, B double prime, C double. Well, I did that already. It's right here. Okay, that's a description. And if I wanted to write it using this obnoxious notation with the bubble, remember I'd go right to left. So my rotation would be here, about A, negative 80 degrees. And then we translated along vector B prime, C prime, B prime. Okay. You need to know how to read the notation, but I'm never going to force you to write the notation in case you're curious. All right. I hope this made sense to you and that you are able to do some practice problems. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for putting up with this.